So hello and welcome to episode 5 of the OSRS Grindcast. I'm lucky to be sitting with my buddy here, the one and only Randalicious. I'd like to say a few words about yourself, what you got going on in this game. I think everybody pretty much knows who's going to watch this, but for those who don't.
Hello, I'm Randalicious. Currently ranked 16 overall. Just finished 200 mil sailing a few weeks ago. And then now starting to crawl out of the hole and have recovered a little bit from that.
Did you sleep at all since?
I've been sleeping probably like 9 hours a day since then.
Oh, you can enjoy that now.
I have an Apple Watch and it'll tell you like your sleep scores, and I don't know how they grade that or anything, but like the last 2 nights was like a 93 and a 97. So I've been sleeping good. So
It was way lower than your EHP weeklies. I bet way lower.
Yeah.
Now, Hexus. Tell us about Hexus, man. That's for those that don't know.
Hexus is a skilling clan. I've been the leader of it for the last 12 years. Staff member of it for 12 and a half. It's a skilling clan. Like if you're interested in, progressing your account like after maxing, trying to go for 200 mils, that would be kind of the collective kind of player base of guys that we have.
Who were some of your favorite like generals that you had over the years, guys that really made a mark?
Tricool, Gingemino, Transmusic, Bront. Let's see. Dan, I mean, he still is. I'm trying to think of like those who have retired.
Semi-retired, but he's still doing things.
Yeah, I mean, I've been like definitely very, very blessed to have had a lot of high quality staff members throughout the last 12 years helping out. Sick Nerd was one of them as well.
Yeah, that was
yeah, it's been a good time getting to form relationships with people with that, and I've been real lucky to have a lot of high quality people.
When did you max initially? Take us back to when skilling started for you in this game.
It's kind of like when I started playing, like upon the game coming out, February of 2013. I started playing like during that initial week of release at some point, and kind of from the start, my goal was to max. And like back then, there was no Grand Exchange. There were a ton of rules that like you couldn't even use alts back then by rule. Probably was around like over 3,000 EHP to max at that time, or it was in that area.
Wow.
So rates were about a third of what they are currently. And like I started playing and my goal was to max. And so May of 2014 was when I maxed. I maxed like right at the end of my sophomore year of college.
Oh, we met over a year after that. So that's way back.
Yeah, so like when I finished maxing, I didn't really have any goals after doing so, but when I maxed, I was the 11th account to do so, but two people that finished ahead of me did cheat and were permanently banned thereafter. So
Can you touch on
maybe
that?
you could
I
say
didn't know about that.
Nah, I don't want to talk about that.
Damn. So there's some creepy shit going on. So you were top page as soon as you maxed? I wanted to get to that. So you've been top page now since 2014?
I might have been top page in 2013. But like I know that like right now I've been on the top page longer than any other player in the game. Like with sailing like being completed here. So yeah, I mean I guess that like that there's something top pages for the longest time.
What drew you to skilling, man?
For example, like Link's Titan, like although he was playing a shit ton, he wasn't maxed.
He was a hurricane.
So yeah, and like some of the other guys that would have been like early on front page just didn't keep up, or like and then when it came to like sailing didn't compete in, so kind of just by default I've been on the front page for the longest time.
Yeah, I was gonna say there were some players of the past, like Razor Beast, for example. Dude was like 17 or whatever. He was like ranked 3 overall. Like, who were some of your like guys that you thought were gonna like, take the cake, but then sort of just didn't really like you know what I mean? Who was your peg for rank 1, top 5 type of thing, and has that changed over the years? Obviously, it may have changed, but who did you initially think was gonna like be number 1?
I guess I never really had anything in mind of who would finish rank 1 because when I started going for 200 mils, it was it was around like 33,000 EHP to get 200 mil all. So I never thought of, oh, this person can be rank 1 or anything like that.
That's more than a UAM in today's day, by the way. That's how devalued main game, unfortunately. That's insane. Almost a third, Randy. Almost a third.
Yeah, something like that. Because yeah, it was around like 30 to 35,000 hours.
First 200 mil, and why? And how did you start the mentality of like, okay, I'm maxed? Like, was there an influence to that, or was it sort of just your thing that you came onto yourself?
Like when so I started doing thieving, and partly the reason as to why is because so again, like going back then there was no grand exchange. Like I cannot stress how different the game was back then.
We are going to touch
on that. So because of that, I wanted to like do a skill that really was not reliant on the economy or other players or anything like that. So I chose to do 200 mil thieving, and I think I got to around like 70 to 100 mil XP or something like that. And like I definitely took like a short break from that and like worked on other skills for a period. It was not long, but at some point then they came out with like those Dorgish Khan high level like chests, and those were better XP per hour at that time than Pyramid Plunder was. And then I did that for like the second half of thieving, and like that was then my first 200 mil. So with there not really being a way of like Zybez was there, but it was not a good way of being able to acquire resources or anything like that. So I was just kind of trying to stay out of the economy related skills. So that's why I did thieving.
We're going to hold these till later, but this touches directly on this. So I'm going to ask this. This was a question asked by somebody on Twitter. What were pre-GE money-making methods? Like, what did people do? What did people do back then?
Yeah. So like the best thing to do back then was runecrafting nature runes, like skilling mate. Like there were not a lot of bosses in the game. Like think of like if you were to go and look like right now on like the wiki of like money making guide like on wiki, I would bet that probably the top 20 things were not even in the game at the time. So yeah, like as I'm looking, I'm
Double
just
Natures was all there
scrolling.
was, man.
Yeah, like as I scroll, like
You could probably make $1 million an hour
there's
doing some AFK stuff nowadays.
yeah, you definitely can. So like as I'm looking at it, there was literally nothing that's even in like the top 30 or 40 moneymakers right now that was back then. And you know, a lot of that had to do with the game was still trying to get established. There was not resources in the game at all. But like runecrafting nature runes was the best way to make money back then. Was probably around like 2 mil an hour, I think. Like if you were going like hard on a main, double nats,
Damn.
they were in that like 1.5 to 2 mil GP per hour, which was the best money making in the game at that time. So like if you were to like copy and paste that into today's money, like I don't know what the
Brutal
so like
Black
as I'm looking at
Dragons.
as I'm looking here, it says like Killing of Doom is 23.9 mil an hour. Again, like 1 through 6, like level 1 through 16. I don't know if that's legit or not, but the other ones up there is like Killing Yama is like 19 mil an hour, and another thing of Killing Doom is 16 mil. Whatever it is, like
Yeah,
I
that's pretty
guess like
wild.
if you want to take that, like I guess like 10 times the
Yeah, multiply by
like
10.
it's like 10 times more GP per hour that you can make now as to what you were able to do pre GE.
How
So
much were Nats? Like, if you can remember, like, they must have been like over 300 GP a pop.
at times they would get to be over 300, and those would be like really good times. But they were probably floating around like 250, like in that 250 to 300 range for the most part, like pre GE, from what I can recall.
Dude, I have a friend who plays at Forescape. You remember Avatar Evan, top pitch. He's a former top player. He's been playing that, and they're worth 200 in that game, like 250 in that game. So that's pretty cool that it's like almost the same price range. That's now the other part of that post from that person who asked about the alts pre-GE. What were some? We'll go right to what were some of the first alts that you started using when that became part of your routine?
So alts became allowed by rule in like April of 2014. Prior to that, by rule, you were not allowed to play on multiple old school RuneScape accounts at the same time. Doesn't matter, like that's just the way that it was written. Now you could play on like RS3 accounts and make money and transfer it over, and that'd be fine. But I didn't do that. I didn't know how. I couldn't even find where the fucking log out button would be. But
Yeah.
but I started making like my account, and I made a few accounts, and they took a little bit of time to be able to get like progressed up combat wise, because again, like shit took a bit longer back then to level up.
Yes.
And I was killing Vyres, so like around this time, this would have been like a few months later, in 2014. I started killing. So the wyverns got a buff to them,
I
and at
remember
that
that.
point, that's when I actually started to be like, all right, I should probably kill these, because they were making like with so runecrafting had kind of fallen down a bit now. Now you think like it's been about a year and a half since the game had released, so runecrafting was not making a ton anymore. I don't know what people were able to make doing PVM. If they were PVMing, literally all they had available to them was God Wars,
Yeah.
and this was like with bad gear. There was even like it. So PVMing wasn't super spectacular even back then, but runecrafting gnats had fallen to be around like 1.2 mil an hour or so. And when they buffed the spiritual wyverns, those were like 800k an hour. And it was at that time, it would have been way easier to alt on like, let's say 2 accounts killing wyverns than it would be doing one like double nat runecrafting alt.
Yep.
So like I started off doing that. But again, this was still like pre GE, but we like knew that the GE was going to be coming within like 6 months or so. Like it had grown to being like the number one most requested thing in the game. And this was back like when the players actually controlled the direction of the game, to whereas like, so today, for example, the mods tell us what's coming and we just, it's almost like a ceremonial. We say yes.
Yeah, there doesn't seem
whereas
to be a lot
back
of that.
then the players actually controlled the direction of the game, and the players wanted the grand exchange at that time. So I just kind of like held on to my stuff for a while and then sold it. But
So were alts okay in Hexus all the time, or it was just no zone, overnight zone?
when alts became allowed by game rules, they were allowed and encouraged in Hexus.
Okay, cool. What's your thoughts on, to this day, what's your thoughts on 6-hour zone? Because this is
I
something
think
that a
anything
lot
that's
of people don't
within
know
game.
anything
I think
about
anything
this.
that's within game rules should be allowed.
It was a rule though at one point, wasn't it? For your clan, like people weren't allowed to 6-hour zone.
Yeah, that was something that Sick Nerd pushed through.
I did not know that. I
a
thought
lot
that was you.
a lot of people love to think that like I run Hexus like a dictatorship and have for its entire history, when it just hasn't been the case. But
That was sick.
I was the one person on the staff at that time that said it's within game rules, it should be allowed. So
Wow.
yeah, Sick Nerd pushed to get it like not allowable by clan rules. And then about 3 months later, he quit the clan to then do the 6 hours so he could compete with Lynx Titan. And then after a month of that, he quit. He burnt out.
I always thought that was you, bro. I've always thought that was your thing. I was like, oh, damn. Because you're the type of, like, anything within game legality, yeah. But like, now I didn't know that. That's news to me too. But
that was Sick Nerd.
man, um, what were things like as when Hexus was established, before clans like Solace, before, what were other clans that were prevalent or that you guys interacted with back then, way back when?
So like in 2013, there really weren't things that were competitive, just because of like how there wasn't a lot of people playing the game, and if there weren't a lot of like the only high level clan I can think of from 2013 that was even on the radar would have been the one that Jebram was leading for a few months prior to them merging with Hexus, and it was called Tamoa, the Masters of Agility. And to be able to join his clan, you had to be, I don't know if it was top 5 or top 10, but it was like based on a specific skill, not EHP or anything like that, but like, for example, and I'm just making this up, it'd be like, all right, to be able to join, you have to be like top 10 in any skill. And if you are top 10 in any skill, you can be a member of our clan.
It's a pretty Jebram thing to do, definitely.
So like that was like the only other skilling clan that I can recall from 13 years ago.
I haven't heard that name in a long time. Tomoa. Literally the masters of agility, dude. Like, that's insane. That's all. Like, hey, it brought some pretty good people to Hexus over in terms of people that were in there, right? Did it bring over some good help, some good
So
members?
the two most like prominent people that were in that were ended up being Jebram and Harmony.
Got you. Now, back in the times when the GE came out, did you do any flipping or merchanting? Was that ever anything that you were into?
No, not really, because I didn't like keeping up with markets. So I wasn't really involved in that, other than like a period of time where I might have had like 7 to 10 like third age bows at a period of time that I just held that as they like went up, but never was really involved like in any of the flipping.
What was your first viable, like your first viable 200 mil that was like you had to pay it out?
Ah, fuck. I don't is between crafting and herblore. I'm not sure which. Might have been
I'm making you
crafting.
dig in the brain right now, man.
Yeah, like
Going way
I know
back.
that I'm top five. I'm top five in crafting and herblore. I think crafting was my second. Or I'm sorry. I think crafting was my first viable, and I did air battle staves for it back then because you couldn't actually acquire black dragon leather back then. The only source of getting it was from the like KBD.
It'd be fun.
There were no like brutal blacks. There were no like anything else that's not a black dragon that drops like black d'hide. None of that was in the game at the time. So air battle staves were the thing. So that
Now,
was my first one, and yeah.
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. So battle staff. So now, I'm a person that's always been okay with this because people have always been willing to give me GP. Donations. What's your thoughts on donations? And did you once have the nickname Rand Donations?
I think anything that is within game rules should be allowed.
Exactly.
And I took a loan from Andrew Wiggins.
Oh, I miss him.
So Andrew Wiggins was so this is like 2015. Andrew Wiggins won a couple bill from the duel arena. Around like 2 to 3 bill from the duel arena or so. And again, like putting that back into context of how much money could you actually make per hour grinding at that time, 10 times that for like today value. Okay.
Yeah.
So like it could have been like in today's value, 20 bill ish.
Yeah.
And after he had finished max and he was after he finished max and he was going for rank 1 construction, he bought all the mahogany planks for it. And there was another player that was not happy.
Vestfold.
With
Sorry. Randy, listen, man. To the day Wiggins left this game, unfortunately, he was happy and proud to help you. I just want you to know that. He was one of my best friends, and he was always proud of that, and he never cared what people said, and I just wanted you to know that. But yeah, that was it was Vestfold who was the guy at the time. But now, what was your thoughts on like between him and Sick Nerd at that time? Who did you think had that race going?
I didn't think either of them.
Didn't think they'd last.
No.
There's a lot of tells nowadays. Nowadays, there's more ways to tell. I guess you could say like you could see patterns with players, but it was harder to track patterns back then, I guess. But you were around a lot sooner than I was. But Let's bring it a little more forward. So when with the way the updates, like you said back then, the players, when did you feel like it started slipping away from the players having the say to Jagex just, like you said, here's the update. What do you guys want tweaked to it though?
I think one of probably the final things that was, and I don't, final is not the correct word to use in this case, but
At that
where
point in
I would
time.
say it probably started to slip would have been after the achievement diaries came out.
True. You remember the Max cape? That was a fun day. I remember getting my cape.
I don't remember like when it came out.
I remember the day, the hour. I was like one of the first to get it. I loved that shit. But what did you wear? Talk about your iconic outfit. You had an iconic outfit, the Santa hat, spot of your cape, right? What else was it? What else was in it? He used to have everybody had an outfit. Trickle, Gingbino, everybody that was like a high level skiller, everybody had an outfit back then. So what was the fit looking like back then?
Santa hat, lumberjack top, lumberjack legs, dragon boots up until the primordial boots came out.
You got to get the Jordans.
They matched the Santa.
Yeah, man.
So that would generally be the fit that I would. So like all those bank standers.
This was iconic, by the way. These guys don't
that.
even know this shit. They don't even understand how iconic this outfit
Yeah, it'd
was.
be like I would run like agility laps and like Trick and Gingbino, they would wear the mime
Yep,
like
they had
parts of the mime
with
outfit.
no capes on. With no capes. Remember when I had first joined Hexus, I was the guy that asked Gingbino what his agility level was. Back then, like, if you didn't know, like, what was it like back then when, people didn't really know much about skilling? Was it a lot more like, was it challenging to try to teach people, or did you kind of let them bring them to the water and they got a drink? Like, was it more like hands-on back then? Were there more questions? I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like, were people more susceptible to learning the new things than you thought they'd be? Like learning new metas, such on and so forth. Like the tick manipulation, the skilling. Did that stuff sort of come over the whole clan, or was it sort of just a couple people in the clan and then it went from there?
I think that this can probably be applied to the whole player base rather than just a clan of people.
Well, the people you were around, was it gradual, or did it kind of take off like wildfire when like meta changed?
Like as like metas changed, I've found I think the HLC 10 years ago was going to be much more quickly to adapt to like the ever-changing dynamics of efficient skilling, whereas and I think that applies like to the HLC, and like how I will apply this to the player base as a whole. The player base as a whole today in general does not care about what the most efficient training method is. They care about what the least click intensive method is.
It's very true.
So I would say that's like some of that you could say has like can bleed into even like the high level community.
Now I have a number that I have in my head when I think of like high level. What do you consider to be like a high level community play? Like do they have to be in a clan to be considered this? Do they have to have a certain amount of like what do you look at it as? Because I have a way I look at it. I think anybody top 500 in any game mode is considered like a part of the high level community.
I don't know. It's an interesting question because like there are guys that are 200 or I'll say that pre-sailing. There's guys that are 200 mil all that I had like respectfully had never heard of.
Right.
So I can't really, and I feel like I'm somewhat active.
So
it's like okay,
this is
this
a
guy
question
played
for me.
20,000 hours and I don't even know who they are.
Right.
So I don't know. I would say it's not really definable in my opinion, but I wouldn't limit it to being based on game mode.
Yeah, that definitely, like, that was more of a question for me. Like, I wondered if you had, like, a number in mind. Because I always think of, like, I think people throw the term around too loosely, personally. Like, HLC. They'll just, oh, yeah, this guy just maxed. Boom, he's HLC, you know, but.
I
Okay.
mean, I would say definitely not that low.
Yeah. Yeah, I think. I,
Like,
yeah.
I think probably the most generous thing that you could set for that would just be, does this person meet or exceed the requirements to be
Exactly.
in one of the like skilling clans?
I was gonna say, yeah, like if they have Rex for one of the high level clans, and I guess that would be a pretty good indication.
Yeah, because I mean,
This
like
came
if
across
you
the
wanted to look
table.
at it from like if you wanted to look at it from a PVM perspective, you know, if you're in Oblivion, would you say you're a high level PVMer?
Very true. I guess if I was like,
So,
yeah, it would be person by person based. I don't know. I just always had I guess I'm snobbier. I just always had a number in my head. Like, yeah, I'm just a little snobbier. I had a question
yeah, I
just
mean,
come
like
across.
I might have at some point, but at this point, I would say no.
Well,
It's probably not really definable.
they're all below you anyway. Fuck them. Nah. Hey, but I had a question come across the table that I wanted to ask. Because a lot of people, this man is still a force to this day. Talk about Acid Soul's time in Hexus. People asking if he was even in the clan or if he was in a clan at all. Some people don't even know this stuff. Like, what was it? What was he a motivational person to you? And like, what was it like having him in the clan back in his peak?
Yeah, so Acid Soul joined Hexus like in 2013, right after release, and he has and is still to this day listed as a member in his retirement here. He's one of the few people that have, like in my opinion, earned the legacy member kind of title. But yeah, he was like very motivating for the general populace, and like it's I'll just put it that when he got 200 mil mining, he had more mining XP than rank 2, 3, 4, and 5 combined.
He was in his own. He was in his own little world, man.
Yeah. So like he like super dominant on that. He was like at that time he was like one of the best like skillers in the game, and just a very positive individual. Yeah, I mean he was real good. Like one of the like when you think of like what is it to be a skiller, like that would be the kind of guy that would come to your head.
Definitely, definitely. A lot of influential people have come through Hexus over the years, man. That's one thing I've noticed from different clans is that, you know, when you put the best people together, brings the best out of everybody. You know what I mean? Um, what were this is trying to think of this question. What was like one of your favorite memories as a general, like as a leader of a clan?
Uh,
You could list a few. List some things that have been fun over the years.
yeah, I mean like I've been very lucky and blessed to have been able to be in the position of leading Hexus for the last 12 years, and I I think that there's so much that I couldn't even pin
Start with
it
the
to
cups.
even
Start
be
with
in
the
a few
skilling cups,
things.
man. Start with the skilling cups because people don't know about this. These people don't even
Okay.
know this stuff.
So during so okay, from what I can recall, like Jagex hosted these skilling competitions. They also hosted, by the way, like so this is like what is considered the clan cups, and they had PKing events. The PKing events were based on like your different levels. So like there'd be like a peer bracket, and then there'd be like just like any kind of build bracket. and there'd even be like PVM, like cup, and there was then also like the skilling cup. And in the skilling cup, what they had was they would take 5 different skills, and they were the gatherers at that time, and you and like your group, you would send 5 guys in, maybe 6, but like 5 or 6 guys in.
It was epic.
And they like you would be like in a skilling arena, and you would have 1 hour to gain as much XP in that skill as possible as a collective. So, say for example you had fishing, they would have like the fishing spots in there, and you would have to go in and like do your fishing or wood cutting. Let's see, I think like thieving, hunter, mining were the others, like in the 2014 one. And it's pretty much just you get the 5 guys, they go in, and as soon as they go in, it would give you like a 2-minute countdown timer, then it would start. And that would be your one run, I believe. No, because you could redo because in case someone disconnected. But it was like a Jagex hosted event. The portal, it was like in the upstairs of the room, or like the building that is just north of the Edgeville Bank. There's like a ladder in there. If you climbed up that ladder, there would then be a white portal that you would go through, and that was like the prep area before you would then go into another portal, which would then put you into the skilling arena. And yes, we won in 2014. We won every single skill in that. So like there would maybe be like a dozen or so clans that would be signed up for it, and they would base the scoring. Essentially, everything was graded on a curve. So like what I mean by that is if you won the skill, and let's just say you had, I'll just use 100,000. That's obviously nowhere close to what anything would be, but like if you had 100,000 or 100 would be the top score. If second place got 95% of the XP as the clan that won that skill, they'd get 95 points, and so on and so on and so on. So like in 2014, we won every skill, and then they came out with what were the statues at Clan Wars, and that was pretty fucking cool because they had I think a 7-year period where when you teleported to Clan Wars, there would be 5 statues to the south of you.
You had one
like within like 12 tiles or so, and we were one of those. We might have been the middle one or middle one to the left, I think, but we weren't on one of the the bookends. So like we were one of the like inside 3, from what I recall, and they had to take and it was just like the figure would be like of your character. So like for example, like the stud unit won the PVM cup, and they had a guy, like a character with like max like melee PVM gear on, doing like the AGS like spec.
I'm showing the boys. I'm showing them the picture of that currently, by the way.
And let me pull on here, and then like for us, like they took like the model of my character.
Look at the beard.
Let me.
It's awesome. I missed it.
So like they took the model of my character, and like I was our like thing on there. So yeah, the graceful with the rune crafting cape, and then like above our head there was so like on one hand we got a dragon pick, the other hand we got like a dragon axe, and we would have like the tools above us along with like it was a chinchompa and a fishing rod, and it was really really cool. So like that was fun being able to work with I think it was Alfie, like Mod Alfie,
Now,
maybe I'm
mind
getting
you,
his name wrong. I
now
would
mind you,
apologize, but
Randy's the only
that was
player
the
in
guy who
game who
like.
can wield both an axe and a fucking pickaxe at the same time. I just wanted to say that.
So like that was a pretty cool um, thing, like for me at the time. And yeah, like we had like the name of the statue like at the bottom for the clan, and like that statue was in game for like 7 years at Clan Wars, which
It's
was
not
a
anymore?
lot of fun.
They're not
So
anymore?
when Clan Wars changed to being like the Pharaoh Enclave, that was when it got removed,
No, I thought
along with
this
the
was
other
still.
five. So the closest thing that is there now is the if you go to Giants Foundry teleport. So like Giants Foundry kind of took over like the area where the Clan Cup used to be. And now, rather than having the 5 individual statues, there is just a single cup, and you can go up to the cup, read the cup, and you can read the results. But then, so that was like all for the first one. The second one was kind of just like a free for all, and it would be across the whole game rather than being like a fixed area. That one was far more stressful
Shout out my soulless
because
woodcutters from the toilet.
it would give you like unlimited attempts at it, and like
That's what tick
the second
manipulation,
one
man. Tick
and
manipulation.
for me I felt like the second one was very, very incredibly poorly run, but we had been working on a woodcutting method
That's what I wanted to
about
ask you.
like yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to ask you that. I said, which one of us was it at the time? I think it was Hexus that was holding on to the woodcutting method. So go ahead, please.
So like a few months before the 2015 Skilling Cup took place in between like 2015 and 2016. So like it was like over that period of time. And during that, we had worked on like tick manipulation methods as they were for woodcutting, and that was primarily like Ned Flanders. Transmusic and I were helping with it, and we had kind of gotten like not a well refined method at all, but in the hardwood grove, there's a snake in there, and there's I don't recall how it was that we were manipulating the snakes, the auto retaliate with the snake, but there is like something that we were working on
You brewed
with the
down.
auto retaliate. Yep, and then like we would also use karambwans to
Shit.
like use that as like to manipulate shit.
So like throw the chin, chop the tree type like deal. Or
I don't recall what it was like in the early like developmental stage,
yeah, I'm
but
going way back,
it was
man.
something odd. And
You're gonna
like
call up old friends when we're done on this call.
we were able to get like a little bit, it was probably like 20k an hour, 20 maybe ish, 25k an hour more than what you'd be able to get doing tick manipulate like three tick like teaks. So we were getting around like 20k more XP per hour doing that. And then we were like, okay, well, there wasn't a lot of worlds in the game at that time. There is a shit ton right now, but there might have only been like 50 or 60 worlds in the game at the time.
There's probably more like worlds with
wasn't
like
much
dedicated to them for something like minigame worlds than there were worlds in their entirety back then. Let's just say that.
Yeah, so there wasn't much. So like we were like, okay, we have the concepts of a method here that we think we can get like 20K more an hour than anyone else can. But we don't want people spying on us and seeing us. So where is the only other place in the game at that time that had 2 teak trees right next to each other? Ape Atoll. So we go there and just by accident kind of come to the realization that like using the birds, having the birds on different cycle, like attack cycles, it made it far better XP per hour, far easier, and like actually sustainable without any outside help. Like what became known as like the 2-tick woodcutting method. That like by accident we kind of came across that there. And then we like just kind of held on to it. Skilling Cup came around. And between Hexus and Solus over the first 4 I think there were still 5 skills.
Yeah, they did.
So, like,
they did wood cutting, hunting,
like
fishing.
the first 2. I'm sorry, the first 4 weeks we were Hexus and Solus split, you know, like 2 skills apiece, and it was like pretty competitive. Like both being within, you know, I think heading in, it was within just a couple points going into the final, and you know we had a few guys that we shared the method with, and then did the method with, and we won. And one of the things that was interesting for me was one of the J mods. I don't recall which one. So like they don't know with at that time with however it is that they're analyzing the XP and seeing if anyone's cheating to be able to get it. And with that, like one of the J mods messaged me and was like, how did you get, like, everything shows on our end that your XP was legitimate. This is far more XP per hour than what we knew is possible. Like, how did you guys do this? And like, I had to go in game and like on a call with a J-mod, show them like 2-tick woodcutting, because like they wanted to. They weren't sure that the data, whatever data it was they were looking at, they themselves like needed to see it to believe it.
Holy shit.
So I had to show a J-mod what 2-tick woodcutting was, and they said, all right, congratulations, you guys have won the Skilling Cup again.
Somebody said this is like hearing about the invention of fire from a caveman. That's very good. That's very true. You know, the another thing that came from that year was one of this is off topic, but it's on topic. One of my most infamous clips. I was on the opposing team, and I made this video because I was kind of confident that we were gonna win. I was pretty sure we were gonna. I was on the pooper, and I said, "Hey guys, just here taking a shit. Just want to shout out to my Solus woodcutters. We lose the competition, and this guy goes and makes the same thing and then clowns the shit out of me on Twitter, dude. Like that was one of the most funniest. That was like one of the funniest fucking things ever, dude. At that time." And they
Yeah,
never did
like
more, they never did more
even
cups.
even after we won, we still had to wait. So it was. We had to wait like 4 days or so before Jagex like officially announced it to like everybody, and I did not tell any of the members that we had won, because like I remember that like the XP rates were being shared from the competition, and there were people asking me like, what did we get? What did we get? Did we win? And I just said like, hey, we'll have to wait until we see the results.
Yeah, you have a lot of restraint.
And well,
You always have.
There's not really a way, like a good way of just saying, oh yeah, I've got a method that like you've never seen before. We won. Like that's not real. There's not really a way of doing that. So just kind of let it, because like because I know that there were a lot of people like doing math. It was like, okay, like these woodcutters got these rates, and based on that, we would have needed to average like what would have been like damn near like tick perfect with great RNG to be close, or like to win, something like that. I don't recall. So I just kind of waited until the results came out.
So back then we had cups, skilling cups in this game. They need to make some more stuff for skilling, I would say. I want to move.
I actually really disagree, just because of how terrible the management was of the last cup, like in
really?
like 15, 16.
Explain.
Yeah, it was dreadful.
Explain. I didn't really know much of that.
It just wasn't good, I guess I'll say.
They just weren't doing their jobs. Gotcha.
There's a lot of RNG that's involved, and a lot of it is just kind of like spamming attempts to get good RNG. You know, like Hunter, for example, people are in the fucking wilderness, and you'd have to have protection to make a good attempt at a Hunter 6 hour. I'm sorry, not 6 hour. People would be getting ragged, shit like that. Like it's just the skilling arena was actually like probably better, just because of it being like a closed environment. But in doing that, you didn't actually get any XP while you were in there. So like rather than getting like a fish, you would get like shit rock.
Jeez.
As an example.
Yeah, it was like if you had to waste your time, basically.
Yeah, I just don't think that I haven't put any thought into it in years on like what a well-run one today would be like.
Clans do a good enough job nowadays, man. The clans do their own good enough jobs nowadays, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
We don't need mod intervention, I guess. They don't care about skillers, in my opinion. But I wanted to go to something. We got a few questions to go through here. I was wondering if you wanted to move us over to that. I have one of the questions, which is a good one. People want to know status update, plans for podcasts in the near future, anything like that.
Like Hex's podcast?
Yeah, the Hex's podcast. People are wondering. It's one of our questions we got submitted there.
So like here's one of the areas where I've like absolutely failed, is that I haven't done one in probably almost a year and a half, and I would have liked to tell you that like, hey, it would have been like my like ideal scenario to have done 100 of them, and on like 100, like podcast 100 would be either like the release of Sailing or like a final recap of Sailing.
Right.
And I don't know, just kind of lost motivation on doing them. Like it would take a while to prep it a little bit, and like I had a couple times where it would be like I spend maybe like an hour prepping, and then it's just with my work schedule, it became so fucking hard to kind of schedule stuff. So
yeah,
like
this was like an operation.
Yeah, like so like when the podcast was like much more regular and doing very well, like on a consistency standpoint. Like I was in college for a few years, like, and we always recorded the podcast on like a Saturday or a Sunday. Well, you know, as I get older and I'm out of college and I'm now into my career,
we are old, aren't we?
I work, you know, the majority of the weekends, and I also sleep during the day and work at night. So it just got like progressively harder for me to be able to schedule shit. And like, so like I would provide people with like windows of time where it'd be like, all right, I'm available here.
It's just
is anyone interested in coming in? And like my availability was just really shit. So like in that, like I've kind of failed in not being more available to be able to record it more often. And you know, maybe one of the like, and like this kind of goes like just for like the HLC podcasts in general is, you know, it's been like a collective of guys that would come together and talk. Whereas like if you look at some of the like really popular like RuneScape podcasts now, it's just like, I mean, it's almost similar format in this and that it's the host and the guest. And those are those are infinitely easier to schedule, you know what I'm saying? So
right.
I don't know, it just I kind of failed in like being able to be more available for doing more podcasts, but I don't know, like I now after 9 years of working midnight shift as of 2 weeks ago, like my first day back after finishing sailing, I'm now on day shift. So I think that may present more availability potentially. I don't know. I'm still trying to adapt, but
yeah, man, that's gonna like I said,
like
we
with the
talked about that the other
podcast,
day.
yeah, but like
The
in terms of
6 week
podcasts,
rule.
like I wish that I would have done 100 of them, or I wish I would have done at least 100 of them. I think we're sitting on 93 or 94, somewhere around that. I was talking with Trickle like over a year ago about wanting to do like almost like a podcast 100 like get together of like the guys that were on the like original one, and
Be cool. That would be really cool.
just yapping about stuff.
Life.
But yeah,
How
but
we're
like in
all
terms of
fucking old
podcasts,
now.
I'm not sure, but like I had thought about some things like for myself, in that like not, and this is not podcast related, but this was just like something that was kind of like I was playing around with in my head as like a potential thing that I would maybe want to do as like I inevitably like get towards retirement. Is Temple is working on this like legacy EHP, and yep. So like for example, back when you'd have done rune crafting like in 2014 or 2015, and
You're gonna show my
maybe
20
your
mil
week,
double nat solo.
well, it would calculate that out to what the EHP was at that time.
My 2.6 mil week when the rate was 226K. Hell yeah, let's go.
So like you'd get like 100 legacy EHP for that week.
Remember
right?
when you found me, dude? 380, 15-hour months, bro. We were younger than these guys are now, and a lot of these guys in here right now are in their early 20s. Like we were kids. It's crazy. Yo,
Yeah, so like
speaking of not being a kid,
if
where
the
I
if
have
the
to
legacy
pee.
EHP thing comes out, one thing that I would kind of be interested in doing like for myself would be like reviewing, you know, like a month by month basis of what like between, you know, like start like you could probably start with like March of 2013, I guess, because I don't think I was tracked on Crystal Math Labs until sometime in March, but you know, just look at like each month and just being like, all right, in this month I did this. I got this much EHP. This was the method that I did at that time. And then like I'd like to almost like then compare it to myself of like how much EHP like so I guess like an idea for like a video, and maybe it could be a series or I guess more of like a archive of sort, but it would just be like yeah, I guess like a video archive of like the progress of my account throughout playing, but like summary of my games for the month, what method I was doing, how much EHP I got at that time, what like my overall rank might have been, or like my EHP rank was at the time, and then and then like I would, you know, maybe I have a month where it's like, okay, here's 270 EHP, like legacy EHP at that time, and then like I would compare it to myself like on like a personal leaderboard and be like, okay, this was my 13th best month that I ever had, or this was the best month that I ever had at that time. Like at that time, this was my best month. something like that.
I'll actually be able to prove that I did 400s because no one believes me when I show them old temple from back then. Like say you did 7 mil RC that month with Nature's back then, and you did like 10 mil Slayer XP, right? They don't believe it, so that would be cool to see, like to go be able to look back at how those months actually were back then. That's really cool.
Yeah, so I think that's something like if and when this Legacy EHP thing like comes out, that would maybe be something I would be interested in doing. Or just kind of like look at my like progress that I made and just kind of go through that.
If you had to give advice to someone on getting a 200 mil or a challenging achievement with this game, what would you say is like sort of your core starts for something? You want to go for a record? You want to go for a 200 mil?
If you want to go for a 200 mil, I guess I would just kind of say like progress is progress, even if you're like crawling forward. You know, like it doesn't. Hold on, let me back it up. My first suggestion would be don't.
Speaking of getting old, I have to pee really bad. I'm sorry, everybody. Continue, do your thing, but I have to go use the potty. I'm an old man. I'll be back.
All right, so to my brick wall that's in front of me here that I'm talking to now, my first suggestion would be don't go for 200 mils. The game is not meant to be played in that manner. Don't do it. If you have convinced yourself that you should go for 200 mils, progress is progress. You know, like if you're able to incorporate playing on mobile in a safe way, do that as well. But like for fishing, I did 90% of my fishing like on mobile over the course of like 3 years. And that was probably like, it was like a little bit over 1 mil XP per week. And I did like AFK barb fish on my phone, probably like 20 hours a week for 3 years. And, you know, not necessarily efficient, but it was crawling forward. But overall, I would say don't go for 200 mils. Like, play the game to have fun. Like, you'll probably have more fun going for collection log stuff or PVMing, doing like RNG based goals rather than just spending thousands of hours doing the same thing of, all right, click the tree, drop the logs.
No, you gotta click the knife, the log, the this, the that, it's crazy now. It's like, oh my god, you gotta bring the kitchen sink with you to do mining. It's like, or hunter. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, so just like if you are gonna go for 200 mils, try to find the fun in it. You know, maybe set like small goals of like, okay, what is my best individual hour or what is my best 6 hour, and try to see if you can set a personal best and just try to improve from there.
So how did sailing start out for you, and what was it like going from, you know, work, play when you can, to being like fucking, you saved up? Explain that process of what led up to sailing, because it's a cool story.
So sailing past the pole, I think is August 2023. And it obviously then didn't come out until November 19th, 2025. And during that, so like there was a bit of time and I wanted to try to save up to take off to be able to do it. And I did not know what the XP rates were going to be or anything like that. I was just going to try to take off and do what I could. So for like about a year and a half, I would work extra shifts at work for other people, and there would be like for a future trade-off day. So think of it as like a future IOU. And I did that and got a lot of like trade off days. And here's one of the things about policing is there is so much fucking turnover that I had a lot of fucking days that I would have saved up that I got the people were able to pay me back before they left, aside from one person. But it'd be like if no one on the department would have left, like I could have had even more time to take off, and I would have actually been able to be off like every day of sailing, and I wouldn't have to worry about all like some of the bullshit. I wouldn't have had to work during it a bit, but I saved up days that I could, and when they announced that sailing was going to be coming, they gave a few weeks heads up. I think it was like 3.5. It was less than a month. I was like, okay, the skill is coming out on this day. And like at that time, I had like the days that people had owed me, and I kind of like laid out my schedule. And like, again, like I didn't know what the XP rates were going to be, but I laid out my schedule and said, okay, guys, like over the next 2 months, here's the days that I'm scheduled to work. Can you pick like these days here? Like, does this day work for you? Does this day work for you? And I'd trade off like a lot of my shifts, and then I would try to take off then the other ones that I could.
It's like
so I was able to be
almost.
off for
It's like
most of it. But like I still was like even on like with how the trade-off days work, like on the payroll, it still says that I'm there and I worked that shift. So
yeah, that's cool. You got paid. You got paid
still
the game essentially.
Yeah, according to payroll, I was still there, full time for that. But I traded off for a good chunk of it, and I still have like all of my vacation pretty much for 2026 here that I'm using up for actual vacation stuff this year. So I didn't really have to tap into like any vacation for this year for the most part. I think I had to do 2 days of vacation in 26. So
what was the sleep schedule looking like during those big weeks? Because they were all you had to play over 100 hours to stay there.
There is not a sleep schedule. Like I might have had like a 5 or 6 day stretch where like I would try going to bed at like 4 a.m. and getting up at like 8 or 9. But I don't know. I didn't really have a sleep schedule, I guess. Like I had times where like there were at least 2 different instances where I tried to take like a 2-hour nap and it ended up being 6 hours. So that was pretty frustrating.
Yeah, because then you're playing with like 15 hours at that point. You got left to your day at that point. Oh, this is a question
like,
on the topic.
I'd be getting frustrated. And like during the first, I think like 3 weeks in on the skill, at that point still, like I'd go to bed like whenever it was that I was done for the day. And this is, just kind of comes down to who was the last person to log out, like at that period of time. I would go to bed at like rank 5 overall. I would wake up like 4 or 5 hours later and I would be ranked 10. So like that sucked. But and that was kind of like in that range for a few weeks. After around a month, I was down to like rank 11. 10 or 11. I think it was 11 though. I think it was 11. And during the week of like I had to work a bit the week of Christmas, and I had to actually participate in Christmas for my family. I didn't do Thanksgiving. But between Christmas and having to work, like that week, I dropped from rank 11 to 16. And then I just stayed at 16 for like the last like 2 or 3 weeks before like finishing sailing.
Locked in, man. Locked in. A lot of people are wondering energy drinks, no sleep supplements. What was it? Was there any energy drinks going on or anything?
So like prior to sailing, like, I don't really drink like any caffeine or consume like really much.
Right.
But during sailing, I would have like a 5 hour energy, and I didn't have one every day because I still have some that are sitting in my drawer here. I've got five that are still sitting in a drawer. But I would take that, and and I tried like two of these, but like these like caffeine tablets from like Walgreens. Those fucking suck.
Jeez, your fucking
Like
heart's
there's some
putting your heart through shit too during that shit. It beats a certain way. Don't take that again. Damn.
so yeah, but I mean in general I was just having like these Costco like energy drinks that I would have like one a day.
It's a pretty natural because I know some guys that were pounding them. Hey, this is a question that's a little off the topics of what we're talking about, but we're here to talk about it all. Does Texas accept free-to-play players? And like, we have that question in our drive there, question 5. I don't know how you want to go about answering that one, but does Texas accept free-to-play players? And like, what's your diversity amongst accounts? Like,
Yeah, like any kind of, if Temple can track it and say that your account has got this much EHP, as good, you know. So whether you're a main, an iron, an ultimate iron, a hardcore iron, a group iron, a level 3 free to play, or like any of those plus free to play, if Temple can tell us what your EHP is, that's yeah, that's good. So we're fine.
you know, because I had somebody that asked that, and
And
they were genuinely curious.
yeah, so like as I'm looking on Temple here, we've got 38 Ironmen. Now it doesn't list, like Temple doesn't list your like anything else other than just like the special account types.
Yeah.
Iron Man is the only thing that's on here.
Yeah, you have
So
to dig into it to really find like
yeah, if you wanted to go even more
the
refined than
mod
that,
and
that's
limitations and different builds. Like I got a buddy, he's a one defense Iron Man pure. Like, he's a pure Iron something, but he's high ranked in his thing. So yeah, so basically any EHP is EHP. Has anything from sailing changed other skills in your opinion? That was something else that was asked.
I think that they did a really good job making this skill pretty isolated in that there's no like multi-skilling methods that are like of value. So I think that they did a really good job having like a safe approach with that, because you know one of my concerns among many was that the skill could like damage the rest of the game to like a significant amount, and it didn't. And I think that from a development standpoint, like it far exceeded my expectations, and I think that they did a really good job overall. But it does not impact, like it's one of the more isolated skills. It's almost kind of similar to fire making in terms of like impact on the rest of the game.
Good, true. Hey, we had a question number 9 in there. With how much you played, did you use pee bottles or did you make time to go to the bathroom?
I'm very fortunate that a few years ago, and I promise it's unrelated to sailing. A few years ago, I had a bathroom. So like I I have a finished basement, and
Yeah.
that's primarily where I play. And in my basement, I had an area that already had the plumbing in place for a bathroom, like under my stairs. So like a few years ago, I had a bathroom get put in there. So it's maybe 8 steps to get to the bathroom.
choice.
So no piss bottles
You
or
never tried to
diapers for
aim
me.
from the chair or anything, shoot the 8 feet. I mean, I could in the morning. I could go probably 12 feet, but never tried. Nah, I'm just kidding. Uh,
My wife would fucking kick me out.
you wouldn't be married anymore, but you'd get better hours, right?
I feel like you'd have to practice that to get good at that. I don't
Yeah, I
know.
make a mess, but you know. Okay, here's another one we had, which is pretty good because I think you'd have an opinion on it. What's your take on botting? How should it be combated? Like, I know you're everybody that is legit. Fuck botting. Fuck up. Like, what do you think an approach? That was a question asked, and I don't know if you have much on that topic.
I probably don't have much on it. I don't know what methods that they use for detection. I'm gonna go like kind of on the back end of this, and that like, and I think that they're attempting to try to come up with something for like the customer support side of it. So like there are, they claim all these numbers of accounts that they ban, and like even if they have like a 99.9% success rate, they are still banning hundreds of players who were legitimate players
Yeah,
like per year.
and they
And
get no help.
like I can't tell you anything on what they can do to combat botting because I'm too ignorant on that. What I do know is customer support would not be too difficult to implement. And like whatever, I don't know what process they could have for that, but there needs to be a better way other than fucking tweeting
Yeah,
for accounts to be able to like for customer support on people who get like falsely banned.
You would think with the money they're making, they could put some resources to that at this point. 250,000
Well,
players.
I don't know. I mean, they're going to be losing out on the majority of their profit with the laws that have like come in place that is the reason why they're getting rid of the microtransaction stuff in RS3. Not a change of heart, but it is a change of law. And
I mean, like
they're losing out on the majority of of their cash flow is microtransactions through RS3. Even with like 10% of the player base, that's where the majority of their like cash flow comes from. So I don't know what their money's going to be like moving forward, but it stands to believe that this year, 2026, is going to be their least profitable year in at least 10 years. So I don't know if they do have the like available funds for like a high level or hell, not even high level. Oh, customer support staff.
Yeah, like a couple guys that are there to read in game. Like somebody gets banned, they submit an actual report, and there's a couple of guys that are dedicated just to that, to helping these guys get their accounts back. Like you said, tweeting into the void, it's like it gets nowhere. But it seems like if they would put a couple guys that was their 9 to 5 or whatever, and they all work different. Yeah, there'd be a backlog. Of course, there's going to be a backlog, but at least there'd be people actually maybe tasked with that. You know?
Yeah. Yeah,
But
like I don't know how they like again like when they ban people like here's some of the things that like they don't kind of tell you how they come across like whatever data it is that they could look at. So there are people that get their bans quashed. I don't know what it is that they look at to make the determination. Yeah, this is legitimate. This is a legitimate player, not a botted player. So we are going to quash this ban. You are fine. What is it that they're looking at when they do that? Because there's something. So like have someone that can do that. I don't know.
they target the free-to-play skillers a lot, man. They target the free-to-player. Like a lot of like high-profile free-to-play accounts get these bans, and then they get quashed a week later. It's like they must be triggering just an automated system, you know? Something.
Yeah, and with free to play, it makes a whole lot more sense as well. Like, there's probably a much higher percentage of accounts that are free to play are bots as opposed to members. So
yeah,
they're probably working with a different threshold for what it is that triggers the automatic system.
they don't realize there's like some of them that do this they have 2-tick methods available now in free to play. You know, with
Yeah.
let's see what we have here. How do you feel about the game today, the player base compared to the first few years? Is it sort of have you seen what have you seen change? What have you seen? What has it been like for you as a player?
Kind of talked about it a little bit with the like from the overall player base changing from like the whatever it is when it comes to skills, the most trained method is whatever the least click intensive is, regardless of the XP per hour. So like
Easy
shooting
scapers.
stars is awful XP. By far the most trained method for mining. Um I think that a lot of it a change has been like a shift in that like first back in the day skill like when players were actually again like in control of and it's, I don't know like maybe the team has just gotten so much better at pulling stuff but stuff used to fail pulls like a lot back in the day and part of that also has to do with it was required to have a 75% chance or a 70% to pass, not the 70% that they changed 2 months prior to announcing that they wanted to give us a skill. But like I think that earlier on, players that were logged in were primarily playing the game, and I think that over time it has kind of changed to almost be like an AFK second monitor or work from home type of thing
Pretty
from
wild
the
remembering the purists of the past, like they would turn in their graves right now.
they would be no doubt. But yeah, I think that RuneScape has progressed a little bit, and like the player base has kind of gone to that. So yeah, I think that like earlier on the game is much more purist. People were actually like they're logged in. Their intent is to play the game.
No alts,
Whereas
no.
now,
Yeah.
well, yeah, but that was by rule. Whereas
Yeah.
now I think that it's just a lot more of um like being logged in and like being a background activity.
It's
And part of
definitely
that probably comes from the average age of the player base being, you know, quite a bit higher now than it was 12, 13 years ago.
yeah, I think that basically the game, like you said, we've all got older. People are working now. They're finding ways to train things while they're doing their other things. I think back then people had more free time. Like the majority had more free time back then. So
Yeah, and they were back in the day like Mod Matt K would have on his data streams. He would, and these are like self-reported numbers, but like I think the average age was in there, but like some of that would be like on the player base. Yeah, I mean like when the game came out, the average player was between 15 and 21.
it's
Now
crazy.
it's in the average age of the player is between 25 to 35.
We're getting fucking old, dude. There's always the new kids that come and play and set these new records and shit. What today, as for records, what are some that if you keep up on them at all or not, but what's one that's sort of impressive to you right now if you have to pick a certain skill and a record in it, if you're aware of one?
I mean, I don't keep up with any of the records really with like having finished 200 mil all for the first time quite a while back. All I can kind of say like on the sailing thing is the records that people set on sailing I think are like fucking insane. Like if you were to look at the top day, week, and month records for sailing, I think every single one of those are like highly, highly impressive. So the sailing day record, the sailing week, the sailing month, I think are all like really, really, really good.
It's pretty wild. Then we had a question. Who's that? Who was the cookies? Man, did you know who that guy was? At one point, there was a player who was up there with everybody. He got ranked 2 to sailing. Did you know him at all? The player. So remember there being a tweet. There was this funny tweet that you made, and it was like everybody in like soldier outfit, and then a guy in like a clown suit. And it was just like, did anybody know who that was?
No one going for 200 mil sailing did.
Pretty wild. Yeah, that was something that somebody wanted to know. So thoughts on OSRS Twitter and Twitch over the years? Because the person has said that they missed the first 7 years of OSRS, and it seems tame now compared to the past. They want to know, what was Twitter like years ago? What was Twitch like? Like, what are some things you can remember?
I guess I'll talk a little bit about Twitch because like I did used to stream quite a bit, like 2015 through 17. I think was when I streamed like the absolute most, because that was like while I was still like I had a very straightforward schedule that was pretty easy to like stream with. And back then, like with Twitch, whereas like now everyone can like be affiliated and have these like sub buttons and stuff. Like back then, like you had to apply for a sub button, and like there was a really high decline rate for it. So like I was the first like peer skiller to get a sub button on Twitch, which was pretty nice. And I think that Twitch has done a really, really, really good job over the years. Like since I've stopped streaming, like in that, like they've done so much to improve like communities and like revenue opportunities. Like gifting subs wasn't a thing back then. Streaming with others wasn't a thing back then. With the combined chat rooms, that wasn't a thing. The
Really cool features, by the way.
Even like I don't recall if the Prime sub was a thing or not, but it is now. I don't know if that was in place at the beginning. It may have been. Bits was something that came on like a little bit later on. Like they've done a really, really good job at trying to like it's been very, very streamer friendly.
Definitely.
Now, one thing I'll push back on is like as a partner on Twitch, one of the perks of that was that I never used to get any ads whatsoever on any stream. So like it was essentially you get a lifetime Twitch Turbo as a partner, not as an affiliate, which was like that new thing that came around, but as like an actual like you get the check mark next to your name.
Yeah.
Like partner, you like no ads, and that changed a few years back.
They make you watch ads now as a partner.
I get ads just as much as like anyone else does.
Jesus
so Christ. That was something that I didn't like. But
well, that explains why they changed their ad revenue split program then. Now I understand why they did what they did.
Yeah. So I don't like, I mean, like, dude, there are so few accounts on Twitch that are partnered. It's like under 1%.
Oh yeah,
that, like,
it's a really small number.
It was not. It was probably under 0.5%, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like it's not fucking moving the needle, giving us the like the free like Twitch Turbo.
Right.
Yeah. No, unless I'm sub to somebody, I get the same ads as everyone else. So that's one of the things that changed, like with Twitch. But I think that they've done a really, really excellent job at improving communities. Like the VIP badge is something that's like on the newer side as well. But they've done a really good job at like giving the streamer a lot more like revenue opportunities and ways to also improve like the communities.
The moderation is beautiful. The ability to moderate nowadays is incredible.
Yeah. So I think Twitch has done a very, very good job from that standpoint. And like one thing with Twitch as well is like they used to ban, like when I became like a partner, like part of the like contract thing you signed is that like you would not stream on any platforms at all, and if you were, they would like revoke your partnership. So like they allow multi-streaming now, which I think is good as well. I think that it was
Yeah.
probably not in their best interest to ban streaming on any platforms.
Yeah.
So I think that it's good that they allow that. Twitter, I don't know, like I've not been very active on Twitter for quite a few years,
It's all about the
but
algorithms now. Everybody's just abusing the algorithms. Like if
yeah, I
you
mean,
put
I
it's weird.
used to have fun on Twitter, and I would have a like tweet deck for side. Like I would have one monitor that would just be of tweet deck, and I used to really like having that up.
I think
So
Twitter
like
was
what
its most popular.
the accounts that I follow now are like pretty much the same as what I did years ago, but I mean the accounts that I follow just tweet far less.
Yeah, I would say in RuneScape terms, I think between 2016 and 2019 was when RuneScape skilling Twitter was its most popular. It's kind of died off, in my opinion, over the last few years. It's kind of like it's out there. There's still people, but the elitism has dissipated. It's more just like anything goes nowadays, you know? Like I feel like back then
And
things were more elitist back then.
probably one thing I'll say on Twitter, my account and the Hexus account were permanently banned for about 14 hours or something like that. Like 3 months ago.
The fuck?
I was logged. Yep, I was logged into a third party app to be like on both accounts, and there was some kind of ban wave, and they banned permanently. Well, I guess suspended is the verbiage that they use. But because I was logged into a third party app, they permanently suspended the Hexus and my Twitters. And like 14 hours later, they were both like unsuspended. So that was something that like I appealed the suspension on one account. I had not yet appealed on the second one, and they were just both like had it lifted. So don't know what happened there, but I
Jesus.
would definitely suggest everyone only log in on the actual like x.com and only use the X app.
Yeah, pretty much.
Be careful.
It's ruined an economy for me. Off topic, I used to run Twitters and stuff. Anyway, off topic. So yeah, like I think this is my opinion. I don't know if you agree or not. I think having a Twitter is a pretty good step for somebody who wants to get involved in the community. What do you think?
Um, I don't know if I could really give any like a good answer on that, just because I'm not really too active on Twitter to be able
Put
to make a
yourselves in
good
the shoes of
assessment.
put yourselves in newer shoes. Like when you were new and you wanted to get involved in stuff, what would you say? It's a good thing to get involved in planning, get involved with stuff, right? You know?
Yeah, and I mean, I think that probably my focus would be more so on Discord rather than Twitter.
Really? Discord.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because like I think that you're able to connect a lot better through Discord. There's a lot like there are servers that are helpful for like if like your intention is like to like become a better player or like be more connected to the community.
What kind of
I think that
which
Discord.
type of discords are you referring to? If you'd like to, feel
I
free
mean,
to.
whether it be like a clan server or like the server like from like if you're trying to get connected would be that, and if you're trying to improve as a player, like there are like the skilling methods discords for mains
Okay.
and irons.
Yeah, name them
There's
out
like
type of thing.
well there are collection log servers, and
Really?
there are like pet hunting servers. So
I didn't know there
that
was
would
a
be
Colog. That's cool.
yep. So like that would be what I think would be more beneficial to try to be involved in as opposed to Twitter.
It is also pretty toxic on Twitter, I will say. It can be clicky. I guess you could call it. But that's anywhere you get people together, right? Oh, what do we have? Some more questions on here. Oh, this is a good one. When you do play, and at this point, and like before sailing and stuff, did you play alts and do you do any PVM? Past or present?
I am currently just kind of existing and have been for the last couple of weeks since I finished sailing. I didn't log in for probably like 11 days or so after I finished.
You were
I've
sleeping?
not been playing. Yeah. But for the last like couple days, I've just been playing other games and like here you go. I talked earlier about RuneScape being like a side activity for a lot of people. Here's where I'm also very guilty of doing that exact same thing.
You earned it though.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess maybe it's a
You
little
earned it, man.
different
Yeah,
doing that after
like
200 mil
we're
all as
talking about
opposed
you.
to
This is
like
you.
being the
This is you,
primary
man.
thing. But
You earned it.
the like yesterday, for example, I was or maybe the day before, I was killing like at like the Adian rune dragons for like the dragon metal slice and the dragon metal lump, and I was playing like I was primarily playing a game, but you know I have like RuneScape up on my side monitor with like, and here's the one thing as well, all the fucking plugins, all the alerts, like hey, your extended super anti-fire is about to expire, your
Does
goading
everything
potion
but
is about
fucking
to
do it
expire.
for you, dude. It does everything but fucking do
So
it for you.
yeah,
God.
so I was doing that and just playing another game on the side, and
Are you a lore
um
head? Are you a collection log guy? Like, is that something that would ever turn
I
you
would
on?
I wouldn't say I am. As like I think I had like less than 300, or I had like around like 300. No, it was definitely under 300 collections logged as of like August. And before sailing came out, one of the things that I wanted to do was do like this was after they changed, and again like even up until August I had only ever done like four clues ever. But when they made that most recent change to the clue scrolls to where they could allow you to stack like 5 up, that I was like, okay, like I had been holding on to all of my totems from my dark totems from 200 mil Slayer, like with the hopes that maybe one day they would just allow clues to be infinitely stackable. But after seeing the changes that they made there, I kind of like came to the realization that that's just not something they're going to be interested in doing. So I did
Not a
all
big
of
clue guy.
my like totems, like my 1,000 dark totems, like in August, September, and then I did all the clues that were involved in that. And I don't know, I had like under 300 collection logs, and then like right before sailing, I was up to around like 6 something, which again I know ain't shit, but
Dude, I've been
that was
running
something that I
into
was
like
kind of doing.
UAFs with like 1,500. It's like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah,
holy
some guys
shit.
playing a ton.
Yeah, but like, how
Yeah, I
much
mean like
time to get third age? Like, you gotta get like, not just a third age, but like multiple third age items for these collection logs. It's like, holy shit, dude.
yeah, so like with the PVMing, I'd say nah, I really haven't done much. I mean, I think I might have all of the wilderness pets
Oh,
and
really?
like a mole, Zolra, and like that.
So you're rank one in
It's
Jad,
arachnid.
right? You're
Yeah,
rank
I
one
am.
Jad.
Yeah.
How does a, like, okay, when I do a Jad, I need a whole inventory of fucking super restores and like 3 brews and a rune crossbow.
Uh-huh. Okay.
What do you do for Jad? How do you kill Jad today?
Today I couldn't tell
Like,
you. I haven't killed Jad in like over a year, I
well,
think.
when you were reigning rank one
But
Jad,
yeah. So like let me go look at it real quick and see what the like the let me actually make sure that I am still rank 1 Jad.
someone said that rank one Jad is low key cold.
Okay, I'm looking. So I have 1,998 Jad kills
Jesus.
Rank 2 has 807. Rank 3 is 726. So there's
Like
about a
when, how, and why?
1200 kill gap.
I just,
I did that like I think I had maybe 30 kills or so before I did 200 mil all. So it pretty much all came after finishing 200 mil.
Gotcha.
Went how pretty like an AFK Justy approach with a Blood Fury.
Oh wow.
Why? I don't know. Number go up.
It's
Seemed
awesome.
like I was
That's the most
again like
iconic fucking boss.
playing other games like on the side and like doing that like when I would get to like probably like wave 60 or so.
Lock in a little bit.
Yeah, well, at that point, I would change to like a range setup to actually finish it off, but I would melee the first like 60 waves or so. The runs would take around like 45 minutes or so. So like that was one thing that like I really enjoyed doing. So I have a home gym and I'm not fit at all. That's after sailing.
1,500 hours of Jad
No, but
at 45
one of the things
minutes.
that would be like one of the things that would be good would be like I have an elliptical that I would use and kind of like timing would work out very well. Whereas like, you know, think of like your like longer like TV show episodes. Those are around like 40-ish, 45 minutes. And then take like what would be a Jad run. That also would be around like 45 minutes. So I'd have like my iPad set up on my elliptical and probably like I would do this like four times a week. I would just do a Jad run while running on the elliptical, watching TV. So, like I mean that is very very small. Like a lot of the majority of it was I'd be AFKing, I'm playing another game, or I'd be AFKing it like while I'd be like at work for the Jad kills, but
Just a fun thing to do,
yeah,
man. That's the most iconic
I've
boss.
So I've stopped at 1,998. I guess here's a question that I'll just answer that I've gotten a lot is why have I not gotten to 2,000 kills? The last 2 kills that I have, so like you see all the kills and you was like, I have not done the Grandmaster achievement for completing it in under 26 minutes and 30 seconds. I've just literally never tried. And then there's also the Grandmaster. For the speed one, yeah, I've never actually tried that one. Then there's the other one for the Grandmaster achievement is complete it without losing a prayer point.
Oh, that'd be fun.
I tried that like 5 or 6 times, and I fucking gave up. But those like maybe one day I'll try to do it.
You know, there's
But
less than like 300 people a month that make Grandmaster. I'm sorry. There's less than 30 people a month that make Grandmaster. It's actually like a really like
really, we just had
that
like
stuff's insane.
Hubloob, one of our like Hex's staff just got that yesterday.
It's insane.
I didn't know that it was that rare like among the like game as a whole.
It's like a very like some of the stuff is just like how could that even be like do a top without losing a single like you know what I mean? It's like holy shit, I couldn't even imagine. Just
Yeah.
to go to some
So
Twitch,
let's see.
questions
Jad
here.
looks like my last Jad kill was I'm looking at it December 9th of 2024.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, so I've not killed it in a while, but
Well, those will be good
maybe
reasons
I'll
to try.
Maybe I'll get those. If you ever see me on 2,000 kills, you know that I finished
You did it.
the Chat Grandmasters. Yeah.
Yeah, it caught me off guard the one day. I was looking up sailing and like looking at the ranks. I clicked your name and I'm like, rank 1 Jad. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, that's awesome. That's like the childhood fucking heart race, man. Getting the fucking fire
Yeah.
cape. Getting your first fire
Yeah.
cape is a life changing type of thing.
I had wanted to then get like rank 1 Sarachnis as well. And when I started going for that, for rank 1 Sarachnis, rank 1 was 50,000 kills at the time. And as of right now, like I have 78,000, and rank 2 has, I'm looking at the high scores, rank 2 and 3 both have 88,000. So not too far ahead. But rank 1 has got 155 fucking thousand now. So it's like,
And which one?
Dude,
This is in top. What are we talking about?
Sarachnis kills.
Sarachnis.
Like
Jesus Christ.
I was going for rank 1 Sarachnis. I'm currently rank 4. And I'm never gonna get rank 1. But at the top, like I started going for it because I was like, oh, this is obtainable. This is, maybe 800 hours or so, like with how I would have been doing it to get rank 1 in another boss.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, I'll start going for it. And it never fucking came to be.
Those guys live that, man. Like that's their thing. That's their 200 mil all, I guess you could call it. Like there's this one account that has, hold on, I need to pull up the fucking, where is it now? There's this dude with over 100k winter tot, and I was like talking to him about it, and he's just like he's gotten 200 mil fletching from it, and like all kinds of crazy shit, like all the loot. He's done like hundreds of it. I'm like, what's the motivation? He's like the number, just to be rank 1 in something. I'm like, word, word, number go up. Like, I could have never imagined doing 100,000 winter tots, even though I've done like 15,000. But like,
let's see, I'm looking at it. Yeah, rank 1 and 2 are within like 3,000 of each other, and then there is a 60,000 kill drop off after that.
At that point, like, you're just in your own world. You're just doing what you're doing.
Yeah. The guy who's rank 1, his name is Pyromaniac. Right now. And then there is this guy named Doug, who...
Pyro's a guy that tried to fanboy, but he didn't really want to talk. He just said thanks and that it's a lifestyle. So 2 things he said, it's a lifestyle. I was like, all right.
Gotta respect it.
I mean, if that's your thing, you're not hurting nobody, you're not bothering anybody.
Like it. Yeah, I mean, it's not any different than me doing fucking 1,998 Jad kills. Is it stupid? Yes. Did the number go up? Yes.
It's no different than clicking a fucking knife and a log onto a rock. You know what I mean? Like it's all.
I mean, at least you can get levels at a certain point.
Yeah.
Like it reaches like the stupid level, and those Jad kills and Winter Todd kills are on the stupid level.
Yeah, it's just this game. It's like there's this like a good buddy of mine. He's a really like heavy hardcore gamer, right? Plays on here for a day. We made him an account. We got him going. He made it to 55 wood cutting in about 8 hours. Now he's like, I'm gonna take a nap. He's like, I could probably get 99 tomorrow if I'm like, no, like, because I wanted him to have an uninterrupted. Like, I gave him all the axes. I told him just start training woodcutting. You know what I mean? He thought 55 was over halfway to 99, and that he was gonna get it. He never logged in again. It was like that was it. It was like it's a very special game.
Yeah, and like I got friends, like pretty much the overwhelming majority of like friends that I have like in real life have tried RuneScape, and a lot of that is because like of me having played it, and they're like, "Oh, he plays this game all the time. It must be a good game." And then and then they're like, "Oh no.
Oh no.
No.
Yep.
This is
Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something. Yeah, this is not Call of Duty. This is not Fortnite.
Our brains
This
are
is not
fried.
for me.
Like, no,
Pretty much.
it's a lifetime routine, man. It's a lifetime routine on the side. Hey, does anybody have any questions that you'd like to ask in the chat box? Because I might be getting interrupted in the next 20 to 30 minutes potentially. And I think how far in? How long? Oh, dude, I forgot to click record. No, I'm just kidding. We're at 1 hour, holy shit, I've been live for an hour and 50 minutes here. So, you have anybody in the chat right now that has any sort of...
Real quick, I gotta just jump in.
What's up?
Got a friend of mine who like hit like his own personal bingo. He said, "I guarantee you that Dave says, oh, I forgot to hit record.'"
Oh no!
You walked right into it.
Damn it! I wondered why you didn't even flinch. I would have wondered. I always do that to people, man.
Oh yeah.
They know my they know my work. That's not good.
He'll laugh. He'll laugh when he hears it. Then
they're paying attention, man. Whoever they are, they're paying attention. But that's fine.
Yeah.
Can Randy talk more on his sailing routine and schedule? Asks Bailey.
Okay.
I think you have his rank now, right? Or like he was something like. Anyway, sorry.
I think that Dan Gleesack was 16. Bailey, I think Bailey might have been I'm trying to think if like Oslo also.
If he had the free time and wanted to do it, he would have been.
I don't think Bailey was ever like 16. Like he was 16th to 200 mil all, but I think that like he might have been 15 at the time of getting it, and then like went up to 14.
16. I was ranked 16
at the
once.
time.
That's the 16 club, dude. We're all gonna die at 16. Oh wait, never mind. We're twice that fucking age.
Yeah, so 14. Yeah, he should have been 14 pre because it would have been like Links J, Sean, Sens, Karma, Harmony,
I just want to
Scott, Torm.
This is a collective.
Vinny,
I want to say really quick, Randy. I'm sorry. I need to say this really quickly. This is a collective amongst the entire skilling community. Dead Wilson, you're a clown, and you're a sore loser. Sorry. Keep going.
I lost my train of thought. I know that I used to have like off the top of my head like the top like 21 off the top of my head, but I kind of lost. I lost my train of thought there, so
I'm sorry. It's like
talking about like the sailing. So to talk on the sailing, so like with sailing, so like my routine. So I guess I'll talk like a little bit on like during the first like few days, and like at a point like it all definitely like becomes like a blur of sort. But so to kind of talk like a little bit on when sailing came out, like I got on probably like 20 minutes or so before release, and like I played for about, it was around like 28 to 29 hours between like the sailing becoming playable and when they did like they announced like the cold fix where they said that the game was going to be down for at least like 45 minutes. I think they said that was, so like I played for around like 28 hours at the start up until that point when they like said, okay, this game's going down. And then I slept like about 4 hours, and then I played for like, it was around like 24 hours again then after that. And then I don't recall how long I slept on that day. After that day, it wasn't a lot. And then like on that third day, like, or third session, I guess. During that, I did what was like for me, like the most fun that I had in skilling in a very, very long time, which was, so this was like after, like, I think it was during my third session of playing. That's when I got to like the level to unlock like the Redwood boat. And when I unlocked like the redwood like boat,
The sloop.
that made it it
Oh.
made it to where like so like you're able to traverse the waters faster than anyone else that was in Hexus at the time. So we got and we wanted to get the doing the charting. So okay, like we didn't know at that time that the 2.5% bonus for the I don't even know what the name of the fucking keg is that would be on your boat, but that like we just assumed that was working as it was supposed to. So we had it was Enjoys, Be Strong, me, Howie, and Master Byro. The five of us, we hopped on my boat and we charted all of the different things we charted, and that was 7 hours or something like that maybe, and that was a lot of fun. And then after that, around then I think was when maybe Fast got 99, and then I think a day or two after that I got 99, and then while I was sailing, I salvaged a bit during it. There were on one of the Sundays, I salvaged for a bit when I had some things going on. I salvaged a bit during a work shift, and there was had to definitely set aside time to spend with my wife, so I would try to salvage a little bit during that as well. So I definitely salvaged an okay amount, but there was one day where I had some people over to watch football, and I tried doing trials while watching a Viking game, and then another game afterwards, and it was at the end of the after a 6 hour period of me watching football and being pretty involved in it. I think it was just a terrible day of gains on that. But in terms of routine, I didn't really feel I had much of a routine. I tried for a period of time having somewhat of a routine to where I would ideally, could be in some kind of routine to where it'd be okay, go to bed at maybe and I tried this for a few days, is go to bed at 4 a.m. and get up at 8 or 9. I tried that and was doing that for a few days, but eventually just kind of fell apart from there. So I didn't really have much of a sleep schedule. If wherever my sleep, and I'd alternate between sleeping in my bed with my wife and on the fucking couch near my computer based on when it was that I was going to bed. If I was going to wake up at 3 a.m., really any period of time where it would be while my wife was sleeping overnight, I wouldn't sleep in my bed. I would sleep on the couch or in a guest room. So I don't know, I didn't really assess the quality of sleep that I would have been getting if it was in bed versus on a couch. I don't know, but I was definitely felt I was in a state of within 10 minutes I could fall asleep at any point in time, and I felt like that for weeks. The most sleep that I got was on New Year's Eve, so I had to work 13 hours, and I definitely made the assessment that I should not be doing sleep deprivation going into police on New Year's Eve. So I got a fair amount of sleep heading in on that, and that was pretty refreshing. But the so one thing, like in terms of like routine, like while I was playing, I didn't eat a lot of meals. A lot of it was just kind of like snacks. And the primary source of that would be I would have these peanut butter Uncrustables, and I'd probably have like 3 of those a day. So, I mean, it was real shit. Probably, like, I probably had close to like 150 Uncrustables while I was sailing.
When you're not doing anything
Um,
physical, you don't need any food. That's why people get.
well,
That's why people weigh 100 pounds. Like I used to weigh like fucking 100 pounds because I didn't do shit. You end up eating
so like
peanut
I
butter.
mean, I would try to have like a lot of one hand food, and like during the first like week or two, like I would try like telling my wife like, you know, because she'd amazing cook. She would make something really fucking nice, and I would just be like, I can't eat this. This is gonna be like pretty hard to eat while trying to sail. Because like again, like I sucked at the actual training of the skill, and I was also then constantly getting distracted, but also constantly sucking at it. But I would be like, just please let me worry about my own like meals. So like I would have like Uncrustable, like peanut butter only Uncrustables.
Dude, the peanut butter is what powers the shit, man. I'm telling you, peanut butter is a fucking awesome thing.
Yeah, so I would have that and like beef sticks, cheese sticks, carrots, and like protein bars. And that was probably, if I had to guess, probably close to like 90% of my caloric intake over the period of time. It's like a lot of one-handed food. Um, but you know, you talk about that, like so like during the first week, I lost like 2 pounds.
Yeah.
But after that, like, you know, probably averaging less than fucking 200 steps a day. Like it don't take much to have like a surplus in like caloric intake.
Would you be
So like
able
I
to do
fucking
that
gained
all
like
the time? Play like that?
I gained like a pound a week for like the next few weeks afterwards.
If you could live your life to play like that all the time, would you?
No,
No, not for
that fucking sucked. I mean, and especially after like not like I would say like I really didn't play grind for it was over 4 years before
yeah.
sailing came out.
Yeah.
So like the prior to sailing, so like with sailing, like I worked 10 I worked 10 nights in a row, and like 14 out of 16 nights I had there was one night off, and then sailing came out. So like for me, it like is, and I'm fucking old. Like it is hard to like hop into that.
That lifestyle, that
So
play style, yeah.
it, yeah, man, it's like it. It was a very drastic change for me, and I don't think that I probably did very well adapting to it. Um, yeah, like sailing was like for me it was tough.
Numbers say
Like you know,
otherwise,
it's
but your
like
expectations are very high.
yeah, I mean, like you know, everyone can say if I did this, I could have been better. I don't think that I don't think that I could have probably done much better than what I did. You know, it's like, okay. I mean,
Right.
your rank is
Right.
what it is. Like, you know, like it would be
So,
like, oh, if I would have taken this more seriously, or you know, if I neglected this, or
so all in all, it was
it.
a good experience, the new skill.
No, I would never do it again. I would.
I mean, as in like, as in
I
like,
would say I regret. I would say I would regret having done it the way that I did it.
well, I mean, you pushed
I think
yourself to
that
that
I
point.
would have. I think that I would have rather ended up being like around. Like I had I just not neglected shit. I probably would have ended up finishing around like in the like 30 to 40 range, and like used some of the time that I had traded off to like actually like like go on some nice vacations with my wife or something like that. Like I think that would have been a much better approach than what I did. Now,
I mean,
is there really that big of a difference between like whether it be like 10, 16, 30? There's not really that big of a fucking difference at the end of the day. So
yeah, there's people out there
if
that
it
are
went,
losing sleep to try to get rank 40. That's
I
wild.
don't know, but I would say that I regret having done it the way that I did it, because like one of the things that like while I did 200 mil all, like during the whole time of doing 200 mil all, like so my wife and I, we've been together for like 2010. Like that's my wife and I have been together since then. So like for years before RuneScape even came out. When RuneScape came out, I was still like I was a full-time college student working part-time with a wife. And I don't feel like really that I sacrificed much real life progress to like finish top page for 200 mil all. And this was kind of like the first time that I feel like I did sacrifice like real life for the game, and wasn't good. Like, would not recommend it.
But you secured the bag. You got top page. That's what matters to most. A lot of the guys upcoming are motivated by that. A lot of them were more motivated by the fact you didn't just hold top page, but you actually went forward. But you got people saying, respect for respect for being honest like that, because most of the people that got top page are like all like jumping over each other over it. You know what I mean? But I unfortunately am going to be interrupted shortly. Um, I'm gonna let Randy say any sort of goodbyes or anything that he'd like to touch on here. The video was a little over 2 hours, which I'm glad we were able to get this much time. So, any sort of closing on plans? Like here, my last question: if there's a new skill, will there be a Randalicious on the top page?
There most definitely will not.
Okay.
My when I got 200 mil, so like some family came over to watch it happen. So I appreciated the like that support, and like my wife didn't say congratulations. She said, "Don't ever do that again." So no, I will not be front page. I would say maybe the like if there ever is another skill that comes out, and I would say that there probably will be. I guarantee you, Kieran at some point in time on a live stream will say, "Well, 5 billion just makes more sense than 4.8 billion." He'll say something along that line, and like
Popular
like
opinion, I
I
think you'll
think that
get
one
top
will
page.
come out. I can guarantee you I will not be
We'll
top
see.
page.
Listen, we'll see.
I like
We'll see.
I'm either gonna be, if you see me on the top page after another, if you see me top page 5 bill XP, that means I'm divorced. So that is like
Oh no.
could not be a
The wife
worse
would leave you for top
scenario.
8. Wow.
Fuck yeah, and she rightfully
Yeah.
should.
Yeah.
So no, like
Man,
I'll be lucky. I'll be lucky to
take
finish
notes,
top
guys.
100. I'll be lucky to finish top 100 if they ever come out with another skill. Like
Well, I'm gonna be the
it,
advocate to say that I think he might end up competing, but hopefully not get divorced. But hey, if it was the wife over the game, you gotta stick with the old lady. She's gonna be making your dinner. The game's not. So, you know. Hey,
yeah,
it
so I
was
guess like closing words that I'll have is, guys, like play the game to have fun, whatever your definition of fun is, whether it's for competing for ranks or like doing collection log stuff or PKing or PVMing. Just play the game for fun.
well
Don't
said.
hinder your progress in other things that you're trying to accomplish or what you're trying to progress.
Well
Just
said.
try. It's a game. Try to have fun. Enjoy your people. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your loved ones, because that's the
Well
most
said.
important thing.
That's the truth right there. It's facts. I think a lot of people, as I'll say at the end of this, a lot of people lose that reality that like the game isn't the only thing that's important. It's important. Like it's cool to have your goals, but there's other things in lives too, you know, and you gotta be aware of that. So from the rank 16 overall, you heard it best. It's your wife is worth more than the rank. So I'll just say that. I really appreciate you being on the episode, and everybody who hung out in the stream. Cool having you here. And we'd stay live longer if we could, but like I said, I gotta get moving here shortly. So sayonara.